specific examples. I've used the example that's dominated the press this week to determine that most of what's being said is a red herring to take the president, and in this case Elon Musk, off of the trail trying to find efficiencies. You got facts to dispute that? Come to the Senate floor, I can learn from it. But stop creating a false narrative because you don't want to go through change. Because you want to continue to establish and follow the status quo, which is failing the American people and failing to fulfill promises that I've heard people make for the last decade. So, Mr. President, I come here to say, I also shared a story. I had a friend of Greek ancestry call me this week and say, "What's going on with Mr. Musk?" Well, I will say that Mr. Musk has put out some social media posts that are incorrect. He actually is one of the reasons why we're having to complete this due diligence, because he was talking about looking at payment data versus having professionals who are, some of them career personnel, looking at source code to figure out how to make it better. So he probably needs to tighten it up. But my Greek friend told me what I thought about all this stuff. And I said, I think the president has enabled Mr. Musk and other people a lot like Icarus's father provided him with wings. They were made of wax and feathers. And if you know the mythology, the idea was for Icarus to fly and never go so low as to drown in the sea, but never go so high as to have his wings melted, his feathers float away, and ultimately drown in the sea. So to those who are looking at all of this in a way that I am, I want that sweet spot. I want those who are looking at government efficiencies to understand the rules. They need to understand confidentiality, national security, and when lives are on the line. So when we're talking about DOD, we're talking about the intel community, foreign service, you need adult supervision in the room to make absolutely certain we don't compromise or put those men and women in danger. But in the meantime, if we really want to force change, if we really want to fulfill the promises that we made to the American people when we took control of Washington, then we have to get people comfortable with change. And we have to start fulfilling promises, some of the big promises that for the 10 years I've been here, I've heard it every year, and we haven't made appreciable progress. So if the American people are patient, my colleagues on the other side of the aisle will present facts, not innuendo, that could be politically motivated at best or just bad information at worst. Then we can get through this and we can go do right by the American people as a result. Thank you, Mr. President.
I recognize the senator from Illinois.
Mr. President, after hours and hours of arguments with my Democratic colleagues, not because I woke up this morning with a strong desire to hear my own voice for as long as I could on the Senate floor, but I am here because decades before I ever considered a career in politics, when I was just starting out in the Army, I raised my right hand and took an oath. I swore to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. I vow to protect our nation against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and in this moment, at this precipice in our country, I need to make good on that promise. Because in the just 18 days since Donald Trump was inaugurated, we have witnessed an all-out assault on the system of checks and balances that our government was founded upon. We have seen the president both overreach and underdeliver, proving through executive orders and Twitter marching orders that he cares more about the billionaires who belong to Mar-a-Lago than the middle-class folks he pretended to care about on the campaign trail. Look, 250 years ago this April, a few brave patriots grabbed their muskets and risked their lives at Lexington and Concord, sacrificing for a country that was still more of an ideal than actual reality. They did so because they could no longer stand living under a tyrannical leader. They did so because they had dreamt up the notion of a government of, by, and for the people, and they knew that a system based on checks and balances was the best way to keep this nation's leaders from turning into the very kind of tyrant they'd fled England to escape. system of checks and balances. Well, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks into Trump's America, the only checks I see are the ones going into the pockets of Trump's rich friends. The only balance I see is Trump's balancing act between ripping off the middle class and endangering our national security. Our system of government is being eroded before our eyes. It's being perverted to work for the few, the billionaires, rather than the many, the people. And it is sickening to see so many of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle put their hands over their eyes and pretend they don't see what's happening. They are refusing to speak up as our president turns into more of a despot every day, as his power grabs get more extreme, more insidious, more cruel.
We're listening here to Senator Tammy Duckworth from Illinois continuing to speak on the Senate floor, as we have heard several of these representatives talk about just some of the Trump administration initiatives that they are more specifically concerned about. But we do want to step away from this and take our first commercial break of the hour. On your screen, we are monitoring this live picture that we had from out of the Dominican Republic. We are waiting for Secretary of State Marco Rubio to hold a joint press conference with the president there. And also, we just got this into our newsroom as well, a live picture from over in California, where we're going to be hearing from Attorney Ben Crump. He's going to be joined by Reverend Al Sharpton for a memorial service and rally for the victims of the Los Angeles area wildfires. So we'll continue to monitor all of these events, and then we'll bring them to you after the break.